toilet paper. You use it every single day without a second thought. But what if the roll sitting in your bathroom right now is causing irritation, rashes, or exposing you to harsh chemicals linked to serious health problems? For Canadians over 50, the risks are real and almost never discussed. Today, we expose 9 toilet paper brands to avoid at all costs, and the 2 that are actually safe for your body. Coming in at number 9, we have got Charmin Ultra Soft. Charmin has built its entire reputation on that promise of cloud-like softness. The cartoon bears, the cheerful commercials, the slogan about enjoying the go. For decades, Canadians have trusted this brand to deliver comfort where it matters most. But here is what Procter & Gamble does not want you to know. That signature softness comes at a cost, and your skin might be paying the price. Charmin Ultra Soft uses a cocktail of chemical additives to achieve that plush, almost fabric-like feel. Among those chemicals are formaldehyde-releasing agents. Yes, formaldehyde, the same compound used to preserve dead bodies in funeral homes. Manufacturers use it to strengthen the paper fibers and prevent bacterial growth during storage. But for seniors with thinning, sensitive skin, these trace chemicals can cause contact dermatitis, red, itchy, inflamed skin in your most delicate areas. A 2019 study published in the journal Contact Dermatitis found that formaldehyde-releasing preservatives in personal care and hygiene products were among the top causes of allergic reactions in adults over 60. The symptoms often get misdiagnosed as hemorrhoids, yeast infections, or simply getting older. Doctors rarely think to ask what toilet paper you use. But that is not all. Charmin Ultra Soft is also bleached using chlorine-based processes. This bleaching creates dioxins, toxic byproducts classified by the World Health Organization as known human carcinogens. These compounds do not just disappear. Trace amounts remain embedded in the paper fibers. Every single time you wipe, microscopic particles make contact with thin, absorbent mucous membranes. Over months and years, that exposure accumulates silently. For seniors managing blood thinners like warfarin or Eliquis, skin that is already prone to tears and slow healing becomes even more vulnerable. A small irritation can become an open wound. An open wound in that area can become infected. And infections in seniors can escalate quickly, sometimes requiring hospitalization. The texture itself is another problem. That ultra-soft feel is achieved by adding lotions and synthetic fragrances to the paper. Charmin markets this as a feature, but dermatologists call it a risk factor. Fragrances are one of the most common allergens in personal care products. They can trigger burning sensations, persistent itching, and chronic inflammation. Think about it. How many times have you noticed discomfort and blamed it on something you ate, or assumed it was just a normal part of aging? The real culprit might be sitting on the holder right next to you. Consumer Reports tested Charmin Ultra Soft and found that while it scored well for softness, it performed poorly for disintegration. That means fibers linger, they cling. For seniors with reduced mobility, who may not be able to clean as thoroughly, residual fibers can create the perfect environment for bacterial growth and urinary tract infections. UTIs are not just uncomfortable. For Canadians over 65, urinary tract infections are one of the leading causes of emergency room visits. They can cause confusion, falls, sepsis, and in severe cases, death, all because of a toilet paper brand that prioritized marketing over safety. Charmin promises comfort, but the chemicals, the fragrances, and the residue tell a different story, one that could be written on your skin, or worse, in your medical records. At number 8, we have Cottonelle Ultra Comfort Care. Cottonelle has spent years convincing Canadians that their toilet paper is somehow cleaner, softer, and more hygienic than the competition. Their marketing leans heavily into the idea of a fresh, clean feeling. Some of their products even come with a matching flushable wipe for what they call a complete clean. But the promises on the package do not match what researchers have found in the lab. Cottonelle Ultra Comfort Care contains a substance called methylisothiazolinone, often abbreviated as MI. This chemical is used as a preservative to prevent mold and bacteria from growing during storage. It sounds reasonable until you learn what MI actually does to human tissue. The American Contact Dermatitis Society named methylisothiazolinone the allergen of the year back in 2013. That was over a decade ago. And yet it still shows up in products Canadians use every single day, including Cottonelle. Exposure to MI can cause severe allergic reactions, especially with repeated contact. Symptoms include redness, swelling, blistering, and intense itching. For seniors with diabetes, a condition that affects nearly 1 in 4 Canadians over 65, these reactions are more than uncomfortable. They are dangerous. Diabetic skin heals slowly. A small blister can become an ulcer. An ulcer can become gangrenous, and the location of the exposure makes everything worse. We are talking about tissue that is warm, moist, and constantly in contact with bacteria, the perfect storm for infection. But wait, there is more. Cottonelle also bleaches their paper using chlorine dioxide. This process is marketed as safer than elemental chlorine bleaching, but it still produces organochlorines, chemicals that persist in the environment and accumulate in human tissue. Studies have linked long-term organochlorine exposure to hormone disruption, immune system suppression, and increased cancer risk. For seniors already managing multiple medications, blood pressure pills, cholesterol drugs, hormone therapies, adding another chemical stressor to the body is the last thing anyone needs. Your liver and kidneys are already working overtime. Why add to the burden? Here is a question worth asking. Why do you think the same companies funding dermatologist-tested labels are the ones using chemicals banned in the European Union? Does that sound like they have your best interests at heart? Cottonelle markets itself as a premium product. Canadians pay premium prices expecting premium safety. Instead, they get trace carcinogens and allergens wrapped in a pretty blue package. The softness feels nice for a moment, but the irritation that follows can last for weeks. Most people never learn how to fix this, but we will break it down at the very end of the video. Stick around. The solution could change everything. Now at number 7, we have got Kirkland's Signature from Costco. Costco has earned a reputation for value, bulk buying, warehouse deals. The Kirkland brand is supposed to represent quality at a lower price. Millions of Canadian families stock up on Kirkland toilet paper every month, trusting that Costco would never sell them something unsafe. But trust can be misplaced. Kirkland's Signature toilet paper is manufactured in massive industrial facilities designed for speed and volume, not careful quality control. The paper is bleached, treated, and rolled at a pace that prioritizes efficiency over safety. And when you are producing billions of rolls per year, contamination is not a matter of if. It is a matter of when. In 2022, consumer testing by independent laboratories found detectable levels of chloroform in several store-brand toilet papers, including products manufactured for major retailers like Costco. Chloroform is a byproduct of chlorine bleaching. It is classified as a possible human carcinogen by the International Agency for Research on Cancer. Inhalation or skin contact with chloroform has been linked to liver damage, kidney toxicity, and central nervous system effects. For seniors with existing kidney disease, a condition that affects more than 3 million Canadians, any additional toxic exposure is a serious concern. Kidneys already struggling to filter waste should not have to deal with trace chemicals from a bathroom product. But here is what really makes Kirkland problematic. The paper is rough. Despite marketing claims of softness and strength, Consumer Reports testing consistently ranks Kirkland toilet paper lower for comfort compared to national brands. That roughness creates friction. Friction creates microtears. Microtears create entry points for bacteria. Seniors taking blood thinners are especially at risk. Warfarin, apixaban, rivaroxaban. These medications are prescribed to millions of older Canadians to prevent strokes and blood clots, but they also slow clotting. A small tear that would heal in seconds for a younger person can bleed for minutes or hours in someone on anticoagulants. And the bleeding often goes unnoticed. It happens in a place people do not examine closely. By the time symptoms appear, pain, swelling, signs of infection, the damage is done. Costco built its brand on trust. But when it comes to your health, blind trust is a liability. Number 6 brings us to Angel Soft. The name itself is a promise. Soft as an angel. Gentle. Pure. The packaging features an innocent little cherub floating among clouds. It is designed to make you feel safe, but the reality is anything but heavenly. Angel Soft is manufactured by Georgia Pacific, a subsidiary of Koch Industries, one of the largest privately held corporations in America. Their business model is simple: maximize profit by minimizing cost. And the cheapest toilet paper is made with the harshest chemicals. Angel Soft uses a chlorine bleaching process that produces dioxins and furans, 2 of the most toxic chemical compounds known to science. These substances are classified as persistent organic pollutants. They do not break down. They accumulate in fat tissue. Over years of exposure, they build up in your body, increasing the risk of cancer, reproductive disorders, and immune system dysfunction. A study published in Environmental Health Perspectives found detectable levels of dioxins in nearly 40% of paper paper products tested, including toilet paper. The amounts were small, but for seniors using the bathroom 6, 8, 10 times a day, those small amounts add up fast. And Angel Soft has another problem. The paper shreds. It leaves behind lint and fibers that cling to skin. For women, this creates a breeding ground for yeast infections and bacterial vaginosis. For men, it can cause irritation around the prostate area, an especially sensitive concern for the millions of Canadian men over 50 dealing with benign prostatic hyperplasia. Angel Soft is cheap. It is available everywhere, but the hidden costs are not on the price tag. Want the real truth about what is touching your skin every day? Subscribe now so you never get blindsided by hidden health dangers. At number 5, we have Scott 1000. Scott toilet paper markets itself as the practical choice. 1,000 sheets per roll, lasts longer, less waste. It is the brand frugal Canadians have trusted for generations. But Scott 1000 has a dirty secret hiding in plain sight. The paper is thin, extremely thin, single ply, designed to dissolve quickly and prevent clogs. That sounds sensible until you realize what it means in practice. You need to use 3, 4, sometimes 5 times as much paper to get clean. And every extra wipe is another pass of rough, scratchy fibers across delicate tissue. Dermatologists have a term for the irritation caused by overwiping with thin, abrasive toilet paper. They call it perianal dermatitis. Symptoms include redness, burning, cracking, and intense itching. Many seniors suffer from this condition for years without ever connecting it to their toilet paper. They blame hemorrhoids. They blame diet. They blame aging itself. But the culprit is sitting in the bathroom cabinet. Scott 1000 is also bleached using elemental chlorine, the oldest and most toxic bleaching method still in use. This process creates the highest levels of dioxins and furans compared to other bleaching techniques. The paper may look white and clean, but the chemicals embedded in those fibers are anything but. For seniors managing chronic conditions like Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, conditions that affect millions of Canadians, abrasive toilet paper can trigger flare-ups and worsen symptoms. The inflammation caused by rough paper adds insult to injury for a digestive system already under attack. Scott promises value, but at what cost to your comfort and your health? Do not go yet. The solution to these hidden risks comes at the very end, and it could change the way you shop forever. Coming in at number 4, we have got Quilted Northern Ultra Plush. Quilted Northern has positioned itself as a premium brand. Ultra plush, ultra soft. The commercials promise luxury. The price reflects that promise. But premium pricing does not guarantee premium safety. Quilted Northern uses a proprietary softening process that involves adding synthetic resins and lotions to the paper surface. These additives create that silky texture consumers love, but they also introduce chemicals that have no business touching human skin. Among those chemicals are phthalates, plasticizing agents used to make materials more flexible. Phthalates are known endocrine disruptors. They interfere with hormone function. Studies have linked phthalate exposure to decreased testosterone levels, increased risk of diabetes, and cardiovascular problems. For Canadian men over 50, already at elevated risk for heart disease and metabolic disorders, exposure to endocrine disruptors is a genuine concern. These chemicals are absorbed through the skin. The thin, highly vascular tissue of the perianal region absorbs them even faster, and the quilted pattern itself is problematic. The raised, textured surface traps bacteria. Microscopic pockets between the quilted layers become breeding grounds for germs. For seniors with compromised immune systems, whether from age, medication, or chronic illness, this bacterial load increases infection risk. Quilted Northern promises a luxurious bathroom experience, but luxury should not come with a hidden health warning. Now at number 3, we have Royale Velour. Royale is a Canadian brand, made right here at home. The commercials feature adorable kittens batting at rolls of toilet paper. It feels familiar, safe, trustworthy. But Royale Velour has been hiding something from Canadian consumers. The velour texture is achieved through a process called creeping, where the paper is scraped off a heated drum to create a soft, fluffy surface. This process requires the addition of creeping chemicals, including quaternary, ammonium compounds known as quats. Quats are powerful antimicrobials. They kill bacteria on contact, but they also irritate human tissue. Studies have shown that repeated exposure to quaternary ammonium compounds can cause contact dermatitis, respiratory irritation, and may contribute to antimicrobial resistance. For seniors with asthma or COPD, conditions affecting millions of older Canadians, even small amounts of airborne quats released during unrolling can trigger breathing difficulties. The bathroom should be a safe space. It should not be a place where simply using toilet paper puts your lungs at risk. And there is another concern. Royale sources its pulp from a combination of recycled paper and virgin wood fiber. The recycled content sounds environmentally responsible, but recycled paper often contains trace traces of inks, dyes, and bisphenol compounds from thermal receipts and other paper products. Bisphenol A, BPA, is an endocrine disruptor linked to hormone imbalances, obesity, and heart disease. Trace amounts have been found in recycled toilet papers at levels that researchers consider concerning for repeated skin contact. Royale promises Canadian quality, but the chemicals in their velour tell a different story. What is the worst toilet paper experience you have ever had? Drop it in the comments below. At number 2, we have Great Value from Walmart. Great Value is Walmart's flagship store brand. The name says it all: affordability, accessibility, a product designed for budget-conscious Canadian families. But cheap has consequences. Great Value toilet paper is manufactured in high-volume facilities, where cost control is the primary objective. Quality control comes second. This creates an environment where contamination and inconsistency slip through. Independent testing has found significant batch-to-batch variation in Great Value toilet paper. Some rolls are reasonably soft, others are rough, scratchy, and abrasive. You never know what you are going to get until the package is open, and by then, it is too late. The bleaching process used for Great Value toilet paper produces detectable levels of organochlorines, including polychlorinated dibenzodioxins. These are not theoretical risks. These are measurable chemicals embedded in the fibers of paper that touches your body multiple times per day. For seniors with liver conditions, whether from hepatitis, fatty liver disease, or medication side effects, additional toxic exposure is dangerous. The liver is already working overtime. Adding organochlorines to the mix is like throwing gasoline on a fire, and the texture is unforgiving. Great Value toilet paper feels rough. It lacks the softening agents that premium brands use, which might sound like a good thing until you experience the friction. That roughness causes micro tears, irritation, and inflammation. For seniors with limited mobility, who may wipe more frequently, the cumulative damage adds up. Walmart built its empire on low prices. But when it comes to your health, you get exactly what you pay for. Isn't it strange how the same companies telling us their products are dermatologist tested are using chemicals banned in dozens of countries? What do you think they are really testing for? Coming in at number 1, we have got Cashmere. Cashmere is marketed as Canada's softest toilet paper. The branding is elegant. Purple packaging, promises of ultimate comfort. It sponsors charity campaigns for breast cancer awareness. It feels like a brand that cares. But caring about marketing is not the same as caring about your health. Cashmere toilet paper is produced by Kruger Products, one of the largest tissue manufacturers in North America. Their facilities process hundreds of thousands of tons of paper every year. At that scale, chemical shortcuts are not just possible, they are inevitable. Cashmere uses chlorine dioxide bleaching, combined with optical brightening agents. These brighteners are chemicals designed to make paper appear whiter and more luxurious under fluorescent store lighting. They serve no functional purpose. They exist purely for aesthetics. But optical brightening agents are not inert. Studies have shown that some brightening compounds cause skin sensitization with repeated exposure. Symptoms include persistent itching, redness, and a sensation of burning that does not go away even after discontinuing use. The sensitization can become permanent, meaning your skin reacts to chemicals it previously tolerated. For seniors already dealing with thinning, fragile skin, this sensitization is catastrophic. Once your immune system tags a chemical as a threat, every exposure triggers inflammation. Every trip to the bathroom becomes an opportunity for your body to attack itself. And Cashmere has another problem. The paper is designed to be thick and plush. That sounds comfortable. But thick paper does not dissolve properly. Fibers linger. They stick to skin. They create a warm, moist environment where bacteria thrive. Urinary tract infections, yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis. These conditions affect millions of Canadian seniors every year. And the toilet paper they trust is often a contributing factor. Cashmere promises softness, but the chemicals, the brighteners, and the residue add up to something much harder to live with. Why do you think Health Canada allows chemicals in toilet paper that the European Union banned years ago? Do they protect consumers, or the companies making billions off products like these? The 2 toilet paper brands actually worth your trust. Now that we have exposed the 9 toilet paper brands putting your health at risk, it is time for the good news, because there are safer options, products made with cleaner processes, fewer chemicals, and genuine respect for your well-being. The first safe option is Kaboo bamboo toilet paper. Kaboo is made from bamboo and sugarcane fibers, not virgin, trees, or recycled paper filled with unknown contaminants. The paper is completely chlorine-free, meaning no dioxins, no furans, and no organochlorines embedded in the fibers. It is also fragrance-free, dye-free, and BPA-free. Independent testing confirms that Kaboo contains no detectable levels of formaldehyde, phthalates, or optical brightening agents. The texture is genuinely soft without synthetic lotions or chemical additives. For seniors with sensitive skin, allergies, or chronic conditions requiring multiple medications, Kaboo offers peace of mind. It is available at Costco, Walmart, and most major Canadian grocery chains. You do not have to sacrifice convenience for safety. The second recommendation is 7th generation 100% recycled toilet paper. 7th generation uses only post-consumer recycled paper, processed without chlorine bleaching of any kind. Their manufacturing facilities are certified for environmental and safety standards that exceed government requirements. The paper contains no dyes, fragrances, or chemical softeners. It is hypoallergenic and designed specifically for sensitive skin. Consumer Reports testing confirms that 7th generation dissolves quickly, leaving minimal residue, reducing the risk of bacterial growth and infection. For seniors managing diabetes, kidney disease, or immune disorders, this is toilet paper you can actually trust. It is available at most Canadian pharmacies, grocery stores, and online retailers. Not all toilet paper is created equal. Some brands quietly put your health at risk every single day. Now you know which ones to avoid and which ones actually deserve your trust. Your health deserves the truth, and you deserve to know exactly what is really touching your body every single day. Subscribe now, and if you are watching on TV, tap your remote so you never get blindsided again.